Welcome back to our Dino Crisis 2 review, and here we are again with Dino Crisis 2. Let's check out that main menu and load it up from where we left off last time. And I'm now recording this year, a couple of months ago, and this is the first time I've returned to this game since I recorded that original footage. So this is brand new stuff, and I happen to know that in this particular room, if you click on certain things, you'll find some more information. Definitely check out the bodies on the floor. And in this game, all of the subplot is gathering around the third energy project, which unfortunately blew up and teleported a load of dinosaurs into this area. Nothing in the safe, but it's always worth checking these things out. And you can see in these particular rooms, this definitely reminds us of Resident Evil, where the room changes camera angle and somehow our controls don't. We have tank controls and we found a key. That's definitely helpful, and so I'll leave all the bodies around as Easter eggs if you want to play this game for yourself. It looks like we'll have some health hanging around as well, so let's just move outside and let's see if we can figure out how to play this game again. Let's first of all equip our weapon. What have we got? Well, we've got the anti-tank rifle, that'll do for a start, and backup, well, we've also got the chain mine, my favourite, firewall. So let's lay into those dinosaurs. I think the animation of this game is terrific. We can see those pterodactyls flopping around in their death throes. That's something that most games don't tend to do, and with this particular weapon it blasts all of the enemies off the screen pretty damn smartly. And you would think that we can hack our way into this area, but unfortunately the vegetation has taken over all of that building, so it's impossible to get through even if you use the machete. And why has the Jeep ended up in the middle of a tree? We can choose the health, or we can simply use the key to get through the door. It's locked, so we're going to have to find a key. Luckily we've got one, and so simply pressing that fire button means hopefully we can get through to find that key, the living quarters key. This is it. And we can pause the game as well. That gives us a very satisfying screen effect, and that is definitely a nice blurry effect. They didn't have to do that. And so if you leave the game on pause at any point, particularly with a dinosaur about to attack, that makes a terrific screenshot. I actually press pause because I can't find the key to do what I want, because it's been a long time since I played this game. Let's move on through another dark screen into another bright area.
Oh man, this is just what I don't need. Okay, I got a big surprise for you.
Handle it gives us the controls at the beginning, not that that is very helpful because the tank spins around, and yes, we also have a flash bomb we can use as well. Try to get behind the dinosaur and simply blast it from behind. That should mean that we get rid of it. Unfortunately, that thing is pretty darn tough, and at this stage we'll have to get rid of it in order to move on to that next screen. Seem to be pinned down by this thing at the moment, and sometimes if you are pinned down just like this, the only thing you can do is fire your way through. And now, hopefully, having reversed all the way to the end of that level, we can now, having changed that camera angle, get through to the next section. And it's great that we can simply move through those things like they don't exist. At least I think you can move through the body, and that means that this nimble tank, which seems to be going backwards at the moment, judging by the grill on the front of it, we're actually using the opposite control to drive this thing backwards, and it's so easy to do that in this part of the game. Luckily, we don't have to face any dinosaurs on this section. Otherwise, if we did, we'd have to drive this thing backwards as well as fire around the corners as well. As a result of all that, we got some points. And after pausing the game unnecessarily, let's choose our weapon. I'm choosing to conserve the bullets at this point.
What happened?
My sister's necklace. This necklace belonged to my sister who passed away.
What?
This can't be possible. It looks so much like the one my sister used to wear.
What do you mean?
Well, I was a very different person before I joined the army. Just a worthless street thug. At the time, I was in a gang, and one day our rivals forced their way into my house. I wasn't home, but my mom and sister were. And they were... well, they're gone. And after that, I joined the army, and have spent every day trying to make up for the past.
Come on, let's go back to the patrol ship. We have no business here now.
I found a gas mask over there. We could use it to get into the deadly poison zone in the jungle. Let's go.
Having survived another onslaught, at least for the time being, we get to return to the safety of the cockpit cabin, and Regina takes control of the game. So here we are, it's a good time to restock and resupply, so let's see what we have. A missile pod! Still have the missile pod, we can afford it, and we can also afford the other gun as well, but the missile pod is very tempting indeed. Let's see what we decided to do on this particular playthrough. The submachine gun. Well, that was a complete waste of time, but maybe we can get the points to buy the missile pod later on. There's also a gold card which automatically doubles all of our points, which means, well, we can accrue more points even more quickly. A battery pack and a heavy blade and a silver card as well, which is all very handy if you can afford those. Let's see what I decided to do. There's a gold card here. Did I decide to buy it? It's pretty expensive. Looks like no, we did not decide to buy that at all. But what we can do is to buy some more magazines, because we are approaching the very last section of the game. I want to make sure that all of our guns of our various types are well equipped, and it will be a good time to save the game here as well, because the last section is kind of a movie section where we don't really get to see much of it. We get to play a little bit of it, and we get to watch a movie through the rest of it, so you won't tend to hear much of my commentary through this bit, maybe because of all the cutscenes. Let's go through all of the ones that we got through. Unable to save the data, unfortunately, but whatever, the game was saved at that point, hopefully, so that means that we can continue. And where do we go from here? Well, we're on, I think, the third energy research unit on the third island. Let's tool up our guns for a start. And so let's take those guns in particular, and those are two-handed weapon guns, because they are twin submachine guns. It means I can't use anything else, and that's a drawback in this game. And you would think that I'd simply use the heavy rifle at this point and forego all of the rest of these weedy guns, definitely these twin guns that I'm wielding at the moment. And so it can be a bit faffy to choose which weapon that you definitely want, because it's a compromise, and it looks like I'm struggling to realise that compromise whilst I mess about with the controls of this game. But no matter. Now I'm going to get bored with doing that. Let's move on hopefully to a new island, and let's move on from the third island back to the first island again, from Edward City all the way back to the jungle. Why have we gone all the way back here? Well, if you remember, we found the gas mask, and that allows us to get through the poisoned area, which was blocked off a bit earlier on. So it means we can pile in there, investigate the area, find out what's going on, and eventually kill a few more of those dinosaurs. Let's see if the big one's waiting for us in this particular section, and it helps to look at the map, and then we can see where we are if we can find out which button to use the map for. And I'm still struggling with those weapons, unfortunately, during this playthrough. See the research facility and also a silo area that we haven't been to before. Let's head on out over in that direction, and let's also remember eventually to change our guns from this weedy pistol and some things a little bit more heavy on the firepower. The great thing about those submachine guns is they will aim in two directions at once, and that means we can take on two animals at once, which can be quite handy. Get too much of a combo bonus unless we really rush through between each stage, so you can see we're not really getting much of a combo at this stage. Let's see if we get the 4 for killing these, which would give us, well, no, it certainly hasn't, so you'll definitely need a stronger weapon to get through the critters at this stage to get the maximum combo bonus. And so let's switch to that heavy machine gun. It has all those bullets to waste, and it means we can also use our sub weapon. We'll have to remember to consult that map as well, and there is a key pressed for that map, but I can't remember what it is. And yes, I think we should have gone through that door to get through to that secret area. Very handy that the game puts on the mask for us, and it's definitely a saving grace that it holds our hand, because there's nothing else to do in this area, and all we can do is rush through it as quickly as possible. And you can see that the thing breathes energy. It does glow purple from time to time and then back to red again, and it's a terrific effect that does that. And there's nothing we can do about it except to move on along this very ultra-linear path towards whatever is at the bottom of this mystery. it's all gone quiet, and that's the time for hopefully saving this thing up. We don't really need too much in the weaponry department, and look at that, just short of the big one. So I'm not even going to bother to save at this point, but this point is rather annoying, so let's just do that anyway. This point requires us to do something over and over again until we get that right, and sometimes we can get that right, it's against the clock, and sometimes we can't, and that means that we're going to have to reload from this particular point. So let's enter another place. This is a launch site. I wonder what could be in here. Data control room, we find one important device, and you can see we can operate it. That ejects a CD that we can get, and that gives us a report, a third energy disk, and if we read that CD we'll find out all of the things that have happened in this area. And maybe it's a digital disc, I've no idea, but you can see still using those old technologies here in the future. This is 3 million years in the future, where the dinosaurs have been teleported from the past, and apparently the humans got the idea to do that to save the human race. In the meantime, I'm choosing to get through more of those dinosaurs onto the next section, hopefully, of this base.
You again? Persistent thing, aren't you?
Kind of high drama wasn't known very much on the PS1, and this movie-like quality really shines through in this game.
Dylan, you scared me. I finally found the third energy data disk.
Great. Now we can get out of here. I brought the patrol ship around behind the building. Come on, let's go. What? It's our Cyclops friend again.
It can't be. That T-Rex is already...
Attack on missile launcher confirmed. Activating emergency interception mode. Missile will launch in 10 minutes. Evacuate immediately.
The computer's malfunctioned.
This is not good. Where's the control panel for the missile?
It's inside the warhead. I'll go in and shut off the controller. You go ahead and evacuate.
Okay. You be careful.
We're now moving down into the missile silo for a little more trouble. now got a timer in the top corner, and that means that we have to get this right, otherwise we'll have to go back to that last checkpoint, and getting this right isn't particularly easy. Lining ourselves up with objects with this camera view isn't particularly easy, and I'm actually nowhere near the item that I'm supposed to be reaching for at this point, which is actually around the corner. Job it looks like now to get to the top of that rocket, and climbing to the top of rockets should be easy enough. Medpack M, do you want to take that? Yes, we'll take that. And it would be a good idea to recover as well at this point, and use up that Medipack M just in case this other one is a Medipack M on the floor. I don't really have time to investigate that, since I made a complete meal of killing that dinosaur, and so we've only got 7 minutes left to reach our next objective. To restart the power, that means that we've got less than 7 minutes now to reach our objective. dinosaurs to face at this stage is simply a race against time as we climb up those elevators and work our way all the way to the top of this thing. Will you operate the elevator? I think we shall do that at this stage, and we can walk very, very quickly indeed to this thing. It's a control panel for turning things on and off. Alright, will you operate it? Yeah, go on then. What is it? It's another control panel. Let's operate that one as well. And hopefully with 5 minutes remaining, the emergency interception mode stops program. Yes. And now that deactivates the timer. And so that was a contrivance from the programmers that made you think that, oh my god, we've only got 1 minute left. And if they give you a massive, massive time limit like that, and it ticks down all the way to 0, that would be great. But it thinks that you're going to spend all day long killing that dinosaur and working out how to do it.
Attention, missile destroyed. Warning, warhead armed. Evacuate immediately.
We find ourselves in a burning building, and ignoring the save at this point, let's just try to make our way bravely on through the access door into somewhere different. Having no effects on those guys whatsoever, so let's just run away as much as possible, and we don't have to take any damage whatsoever as long as we run away. Let's try the flamer as a very last resort against those things, because to be honest, the creatures in this game are tough at this point. Luckily we won't have to get through these particular ones for very much longer.
Are you okay, Regina? Get on, quick!
Oh, give me a break, man! We're dead!
We have to get as far away from this place as possible. Let's head down the river.
Great, the water gate's closed. We can't go any further.
Wait, there's a valve. Maybe we can open the gate manually.
Whoa! Let the men handle this. Let's go, bro.
Fine. You boys, play nice now.
Okay, up there.
Right.
Well, here goes.
Whilst David is opening that water gate, we've got to gun down all the predators. It's very fun to mow through these creatures very smartly, and unless you make a complete mess of this, it's not hard to get through it.
I rule! Bingo! Dylan, let's go back.
Watch out!
I'll save you, bro!
You?
Home?
What did you say?
Home.
I don't understand. You want me to come with you?
In the next section, we must protect the girl against all the predators, and so for this one, let's get rid of the weedy weapon and put back the big one. Even though it's got a big reload time and recoil, I think we're still gonna need the big one, or yes, definitely the big one for this mission. You can see the girl vitality, and as long as you can keep those things arm's length, then it shouldn't be too difficult, although they will kick around all the time, and you can see some movement going on, some expressions and some conversation, which makes this feel like that we're taking part in a movie. But just when you think it's over, it's not over yet, because this is Area 2. And just about she manages to climb over, so just a small matter now of finding the button to jump over this wall myself. Eventually I will find that button, I definitely know that, or at least find the ladder to get up there. And now hopefully, with that sliver of health, hopefully we can make it through. In the next section, we'll have to operate some machinery as well as destroying the dinosaurs which are constantly attacking as well. So who is that girl? Well, that girl is actually a daughter of ours, it's a clone of ours, and that's why she has our sister's amulet around her neck, because Dylan is the architect of everything that you can see here. Yes, the technology that you can see here was all created by Dylan, as far as I know, because this is a time loop situation, and at the end of this game Dylan goes back in time and creates all this, and the dinosaurs were already put here because of the third energy project, which went wrong and blew things up. And it blew things up and teleported things to the future, and that's where we are. And none of this is actually explained very much until you play the sequel game to this, which hopefully I will be playing at some point. It's not a patch on this one, and the sequel game, I think it's called Dino Stalker, is shoot 'em up, and it's not a patch on this one. It's certainly not an interactive movie. It's more like a Doom clone. So what you can see, I've activated the first green thing on this part of the level, and now we can activate the yellow one. And will you operate it? Yes, we will. And at this stage I didn't realise that there was 4 of them, but given there are 4 beams, it would make sense that there are 4 switches. So let's look around and see if we can find out what's going on with this. We can't activate the terminal until all of those 4 switches and those colours have been found. It's not a difficult puzzle, but again, with those dinosaurs keep attacking us left, right and centre, we don't really get time to concentrate, and it's a good job that the health in this game is absolutely generous with all those health packs and resource packs and great weaponry and everything else. So unless you play this in the hard mode, it doesn't really feel like that there's too much strain in the game. You can simply press a button to auto aim on the dinosaurs and press another button to shoot them down. finally, that opens up, hopefully, the final part of this game. You'll be relieved to know we're going into the final place now. And the final place isn't very large and it won't take us very long to get through it. And this is a kind of teleportation device that Dylan's built from the remains of the ship. And the ship has some kind of teleport thing. Remember, it was broken, so he constructed a new one. And this is the construction, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get back to the past using this. It was only able to get a few million years back. As you'll find playing Dino Stalker. So let's check out this room, and we found another file. At this point it's the atmosphere in the game which keeps it going, because you're expecting things to leap out at any point, but no, it makes it nice and easy on us. And in this particular room it gives us yet another ID card, and somewhere around here there is a save point as well. Noah's Ark Planet, 2009, and they go into overdrive creating this thing called the Third Energy Project, and you can read all about that, all 7 pages of it. If you want to play this game, it was screwed up and it blew up, and it took things from the Cretaceous period and sent them into the future. This room definitely contains something important, because this is the final save in the entire game, and from here you don't get the luxury of one, and you don't actually need one either, and I don't think I used this one except for the very first time I played this game. So if you want to know how to complete it, stop watching now, but if you want to see me using the rocket launcher with the last of our extinction points, let's grab that, and we won't have much of a use for it, but it does have a use against the final monster. Of course, it's going to be a huge final monster in the huge final part of the game. We don't really need any cards at this point, so this is it, that's the final one. Kiss goodbye to that, and I'm not even going to bother with the health at this stage. We're just going to romp on in, and you don't know what size health it's going to be. It's going to be a rescue pack. Okay, we'll have the rescue pack. That gives us an extra credit. So here we go. Let's open up the door and let's see what menaces lurk behind this wall. The first problem is obviously, how do you get out of this area, and it isn't automatically obvious that there's steps in front of us, and if we press the steps button we'll walk down those steps, and then hopefully walk down the second set of steps, and at the end of this we'll find another clue.
Welcome, Lieutenant Morton.
What? A hologram? How does he know my name?
There's not much time left, so I'll explain it short and simple. On August 10th, 2055, our Noah's Ark plan became successful.
Year 2055? What's he talking about?
To save the dinosaurs, we transferred the dinosaurs to this time, 3 million years ahead of our time.
What? 3 million years? Then you're from...
But there was another accident when we were about to go back. The gate disappeared and we were stranded in this time.
Then this is the future.
There was no way for us to survive in this world, where dinosaurs now rule. We, the remaining survivors, hurried to recover the gate. But it's too late now. My wife, Julia, was killed by the dinosaurs. And my loving child, she was hurt. Badly. Paula.
Paula.
Paula? Is that your name?
Papa.
My only mission now is to protect my group. I have kept Paula and the other children safe by putting them inside life support chambers. Please, take the children back to your time. And now, I should introduce myself. I am former Special Forces Strat member, Colonel Dylan Morton.
What? You're myself in the future? Then you're my...
Papa.
We don't have much time left. There's a gate behind the door. You can use it to return to your time. The gate is not complete yet. You'll be able to use it only once. Please, say hello to Regina for me. I'm counting on you, Lieutenant.
And so we do find out a significant chunk of plot in a particular room. It's very well drawn. You can see the pods in the background, or the polar pods, and yes, all of the girls throwing things on this particular game with the helmets on that look like biker girls are actually daughters of Dylan. So you get to find out right at the end of the game that you've actually been fighting against yourself, and at the end of the mission all you find is yourself. So this is the end of the machine. This is the end of the machine and the mission. All that remains is just a small matter of blowing everything up and triggering the time loop to loop around all over again.
The self-destruct system has been manually activated. Detonation in 5 minutes.
What? You turned it on. Not now.
And now we have 5 minutes once again, and this time these are the final 5 minutes. And so if you make haste while that sun shines, you can make your way all the way across. So these 3 switches, by the time you get to the end of this game, you won't have a clue what you're supposed to do with any of this lot.
Damage confirmed at oversized transport area. Immediate shutdown. Communication line is now connected.
This rocket launcher, and as you can see, it has no effect whatsoever.
Target is set.
Now we've managed to communicate with that satellite. Now just a small matter of getting back to that central console. And of course, the dinosaur making our life a bit of a misery at this point, but it's still fun, and it's still actually funny, even at this point. luckily for us, we don't have to face much more from here on in, except for, of course, blowing up the time circuits and sending us backwards or forwards in time.
It's okay. Regina!
Are you alright?
Yeah, we don't have much time left. Let's use this gate and get out of here. Whoa! Paula! No! No!
Papa.
Paula.
Dylan, what are we gonna do? If we don't go now, we'll never get back.
Regina, the gate is open. I know you don't want to, but you have to go back by yourself. I won't leave Paula.
Are you crazy?
Just go, please. You have the third energy data, right? When you get back to our original time, use the data to learn about third energy. Then build a perfect gate and come pick us up for the last time.
Dylan. I will. I promise.
Final warning. 10 seconds to detonation.
Don't forget, you still owe me one.
Well then, you better get back quick.
Some great rock music and also some special effects as well. You might have noticed the screen shaking effects and the various colour and light effects going on in this game. You haven't even seen most of it, but most of that is hidden texture. It really textures this game and makes it a classic. And so I have infinite respect for this game. I love the storyline and I love the high drama and I love this groovy ending which leaves us in a meditative state with full respect for this game and what it tried to do as an interactive story. I give it 10 out of 10. For the drama, I certainly give it 10 out of 10. very relaxing themes from the game and scenes from the game, reminding you of the glory that you've just played through. Capcom's finest hour, and most players have never even heard of it. So that for me is Dino Crisis 2. Once you complete the game, it gives you another cutscene. Look at this. And I'm driving around in a car. It gives you your total time, your total extinction points, and also the Dino files that you picked up. I got rank B. And rank B, it's not amazing, but it's still a great way to finish this title. And we've been awarded Extra Crisis, Dino Coliseum, and we can have extra players entering Coliseum mode, including, it looks like a tank. So that's something to unlock, a 3D virtual landscape that you can play in the game. It's a Dino Crisis shooting simulator called the Coliseum. Will you add the tank to the Coliseum? Well, we can spend that kind of money, and we can also include other players as well. And so you can see the main characters, Dylan and Regina, are there as standard. So that's that. Let's just exit that, and those are the freebies and the goodies that we got from playing the game. We can now save it up so that we can now restart this in hard mode and hopefully tackle this with some meat behind it, because easy and medium mode really are easy. Look at that. Dino Crisis 2 gives us a new menu and even Extra Crisis as well. So that's the game. I have infinite respect for it. Let's check out Extra Crisis. It's not a great bonus game, but they didn't have to include it. And games which included bonus games, you can basically count on two hands. So this is Regina. Let's sort out the configuration of this. There's only two players that we can play against, and as far as I know, there's only one thing you can do in the Coliseum, and that's shoot dinosaurs. Maybe you can do that in two-player mode. So let's select our weapon. We have infinite weapons with that one, or 5 in the grenade launcher. Let's just check out the shotgun. And we also get the chain mine and the firewall. Coliseum, we get around 10 minutes to shoot as many dinosaurs as we can and try to get as many combo bonuses as we can. And you can see at the bottom there's a dinosaur symbol which is ticking down, and the more we shoot those, the more we'll move on to that next round. Each round continues in the Coliseum, you'll find harder and harder dinosaurs, and you don't get the luxury, I don't think, of continuing with great health at that point. And it looks like I've wandered into the screen setup page by mistake, and I'm not quite sure, but yes, you can change the key config and the sound and everything else in this game. It's very flexible, and you can even reset the game as well to get rid of your previous saves and continue that all the way back from the title screen. So that's my playthrough of Dino Crisis 2. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed playing that, and I'll see you again on the next one sometime soon. Thank you.